you have seen that we are done with the bed leveling part, right? With this part, we are done with all the mechanical applications and the features of this machine. Now, after the mechanical features, now let's come up to the electrical components and electrical features of this machine. Now, what you are seeing right now on your screen is the LCD screen of this machine. Now, for the first electronic part that we'll check is of preheating, right? So, for checking this, the preheating part, we'll first press this jog dial, right? After pressing this, we'll see again the 4 options, right? So in these 4 options, again we'll select the option which is of prepare. Now, as soon as you select the prepare option, you will see that there is an option of preheat right at the second point, right? So this option is just to ensure that the temperature is working fine for the machine, right? We ensure the temperature for 3 things, that is the temperature of extruder 1, the temperature of extruder 2, and the temperature of extruder 3, and the temperature of the bed, right? So after checking this, and after we see that the temperature of these 3 things reaches the target temperature, then it means all the heating process is working fine, right? So just for an example, let us see. We select this option, the preheat. As soon as you select this option, you observe that the LED light will glow, which is available at the right corner of the front part of the machine, and which is written as a heater, right? Now moving to the LCD screen, we'll click on the option main that you can see. After selecting this option, right, you'll again get these 4 options. Now again you'll select the option which is watch. Now right now what you are seeing on your screen is 3 temperatures, right? This is the temperature of extruder 1, this is the temperature of extruder 2, and this is the temperature of the bed, right? Now as you can see, for the extruder 1, the temperature is increasing. Now it is 214, 15, 16, 17, and its targeted temperature is 220. And similar is for the extruder 2 temperature. It is now again increasing and it will reach up to 220, right? And again is similar for the bed. The targeted temperature for the bed is of 110 degrees. Now it is increasing and it will reach to 110 degrees, and all these processes will stop. So by this our preheating process is done. Now after the process of preheating, the next step that we have to take is we have to check that the target temperature is equal to the temperature we have increased, right? As you can see, the temperature is 220 and the targeted temperature was 220 as well. So these 2 temperatures equal, and as well it is for the bed. That is 110 was the required temperature, which is target temperature, and now the bed is at 110 degrees. We have achieved the target temperature now. Now after doing this, the next step is the loading of the filament. Now before loading of the filament, the things that we have to keep in mind is we have to move the bed in downward direction away from the extruder pins. To move the bed in downward direction, what we'll do is we'll again go to the prepare option, right? When we'll move downwards in the prepare option, we'll find an option which is of move axis, right? So here will be the multiple options in move axis, but at the third place what we will see is the option will be of the Z. As you can see on your screen, here is the option Z. So we'll select this option and increase the value of Z. So do it like this. So we will keep on increasing the distance up to the 20, right? So which means the minimum distance before loading the filament should be 20 mm between the bed and the extruder pins. Now this is the distance between the bed and the filament. So this should be the optimal distance before loading the filament. Now for loading the filament, we are done with the first step, which is we have moved the bed in downward Z direction. Okay, so which is the distance? The distance between the nozzle of the extruder and the bed is of minimum 20 mm. So this is the first requirement for the filament loading, right? So now the next step that we'll take is we'll select the option of loading the filament. We'll move back, we'll again go to the option prepare. Here we'll move downwards and we'll find the option of load filament. So when we'll select this option, we'll find the three options, which is load filament 1, load filament 2 and unload filament 1. So these will be the three options that you will see on your screen. Now this load filament 1 means loading the main filament. This is the filament which is our main, right? And loading filament 2 means loading the support material, right? So now let's check with the loading of filament 1, which is our main material, right? So when we'll select this, right, so you will see an option which is showing stop. So before that, let's see the process how the filament is loaded into the machine. Now selecting the option of load filament from the LCD screen. Now let's come to the back part of the machine where we have already implemented the support, the main material, right? So this is our main print material that we have to load, which is our filament 1, right? So now what we have to do, as we can see, the end of this filament is not correct. So to make it correct, what we'll cut the top end of this filament using any cutter in this way, right? So now it is smooth and it will be easier for us to implement and insert it into the tubes. Now let us load this filament into the machine. So this is the filament, and here at the down or the below of this hole we have a hole available where we'll insert this material, right? And when we'll be inserting this material will insert directly into the tube, right? So let's just insert this. See, this filament has been loaded into the machine, and you can check this filament is going on and into the tube, and it will go up to the needle of the extruder. Now as you can see, filament has been loaded, so immediately press the stop or select the stop option from the LCD screen so that much material is not extruded and it is okay for our machine. In the similar manner, we load the other filament, which is filament 2, which is a support material, right? In the same manner, we'll select the option of load filament 2, right, in this way, and as soon as it will be extruded from our needle, then we'll stop this